Hello there, commanders, and welcome to another Total War Arena news update and another episode of Chinese faction preview. We are continuing previewing the commanders, and this time we are previewing Zhuge Liang, who is a crossbow commander. And we're not playing crossbows, we are just previewing the commander, so I guess we will be kind of useless. Well, let's see what his abilities are anyway. So we've got Way of the Wind, Aura Effect, Aura Heal. Restore the health of all injured soldiers within the area and grant the casting unit a bonus to mobility. Does not revive dead soldiers. Well, I guess that's kind of obvious. That's heal, not revival. Target on self affects self-ally. Units obviously cooldown 60 seconds, duration 10 seconds, AoE 30 meters. Well, that's not bad. On self, Windwalker. Plus, it also heals the unit itself. Well, not plus, just 120 health recovered every 1 second. Plus 50% movement speed, plus 15% acceleration. And on allies, Soothing Winds, 100 HP recovered per second. I wonder if it stacks. Well, we'll need to try it. So if I get damage on all 3 units, and if I use it... No, it does stack, but only 2 times. It doesn't stack 3 times. Because you'll have Windwalker from the unit that is using it, so that's 120, and then you'll have Soothing Winds from the unit that is next to it. So you'll be healing maximum of 220 per second by doing so. Okay, well that's interesting. And is that available? Well, it doesn't say to what is it available. So I guess it's available to all if it doesn't say, right? Not necessarily. Maybe just a missing tooltip as well. I'll just build their base. Okay, let's use on 2 units. So yeah, see? These units will be healing 120 per second, while this third unit will only be healing 100.
You have the spread.
Okay, let's see his second ability. Master's Patience. Buff Toggle. Enter a stance that increases the unit's missile damage and range, but decreases its speed. Takes 10 seconds to reach full effect. Available to ranged infantry. Plus 11% missile weapon range, minus 40% movement speed, and plus 9% missile weapon damage. It just makes your crossbowmen more stationary, right? Since they will be, well, their speed will be quite significantly reduced. And it's a toggle, so it can last for how much you want, but you'll be locked down for at least 20 seconds in that reduced movement speed. So yeah, it comes at a cost. So you'll need to use that smartly while you are defended by your allies. And then the third ability, Sight of the Dragon. Gain greatly increased vision range and reveal all hidden enemy units in a large area, but reveal the casting unit's presence to enemies. Okay, so this unit is about to enter the Fog of War. God damn it. Enter the Fog of War. So I can reveal you. Oh, god damn it, it turned around. Okay, let's see if they were to hide behind this cliff, for example. That I would lose vision on them. Also, well, let's talk about the dynamic of the first ability, right? So you can either... Oh wait, it doesn't... Oh, it doesn't work in melee. Oh, that's interesting. Need to be out of melee. Well, if you're using this on crossbows, that makes sense, I guess. I mean... Okay. Can we reveal anything with Sight of the Dragon? So it doesn't really increase our vision range, right? Because it says that on self, Sight of the Dragon duration 2 seconds, plus 50% view range. On enemy spotted duration 2 seconds. Okay, let's go to the edge of the forest. And let's see if that allows us a glimpse inside the forest.
I see their designs.
Yeah, it does, very briefly. But I assume if any unit within this area if there would be any unit within this area, so we can literally spot our entire forest. Okay, this guy. Come on, enter fog of war. God damn it, they didn't enter fog of war. Oh, this cavalry briefly did. Oh, okay. No, fuck, we still see it. God damn it, it's so hard to use this ability, apparently. You know, the AO is 100 meters, so yeah. Not that bad, and it probably will increase. It would, for example, allow us a glimpse behind this rock. Also, you still need to use that blindly. I mean, it only gives you vision for 2 seconds, so it's not much. So, yeah, if you wanted to use it for shooting, you will also only be able to shoot 1 volley, unless repeating crossbows shoot faster, but then again, it wouldn't be much. Unless you can increase that duration later. If you can increase to like 10 seconds, for example, yeah, then you would be able to fire off or shoot a few volleys. There's nothing I can really reveal with that. Yeah. Not gonna work, also all the abilities are useless on melee infantry, obviously. So, we're not going to do that well. Just pushed against the rock, like quite literally. By dogs and knockbacks. Can't even heal, because it's deactivated as soon as you enter melee. But yeah, the side of the dragon, it's kind of like very niche. Although it would be good at the beginning of the battle, so if, let's say, you go on Thermopylae, you go into the forest under the ledge, or just on top of the ledge as well, and you go alongside with your infantry, right? And obviously you don't see that far into the forest. So then you use the sight of the dragon, and it reveals all enemy units that are incoming, only for 2 seconds, right? So you won't be able to use it to shoot them, but you will know what's coming. And they'll only know that, well, there's 1 crossbowman unit coming. Well, they can safely assume it's all 3, but they only have a sight very briefly of that unit that used it. And again, if you were to increase the duration to 10 seconds to allow you to shoot enemies that you spot with this ability, that duration would also extend on your unit, I assume. Right, so if you were able to see enemy units for 10 seconds, then the enemies would be able to see you for 10 seconds as well. That's pretty interesting. And again, I don't know what the talent tree will look like for Zhuge Liang. So it's hard to predict. Okay, Master Patience. Yeah, it's just overall good ability for ranged units. And healing for ranged units, especially AoE. Given on the level 1 of this ability, right? You have 60 seconds cooldown and duration 10 seconds as long as you keep your crossbows close. They can heal each other for 30 seconds every 60 seconds. Is it 40? 30. 30 seconds every 60 seconds. And as you level up that ability, the duration and cooldown will probably get closer and closer, and you will be able to have that ability up all the time, maybe even overlapping. Yeah, healing in ranged duels is pretty good. Depending on the nature of the duel, I guess, but you can change that nature to your liking. Then again, if you're crossbows, maybe not necessarily. Oh, we'll see how the crossbows play in future episodes. This time we are just previewing the commanders, so I'm using the Lost Legion as a benchmark, I guess. But yeah, since Zhuge Liang is an entirely ranged commander, we can't really test his abilities. Don't worry, we will get to that, well, once we will get to previewing the units, and we will be previewing the crossbows. and repeating crossbows, I guess. And those are technically two separate unit types. And funny enough, shock cavalry and spear cavalry are both classified as spear cavalry. Oh yeah, they're actually two different unit types. I mean, also repeating crossbows and crossbows are also just different unit types, but yeah, they're classified as two separate unit types, while the spear cavalry and shock cavalry isn't.
Half of the enemy team has been eliminated.
Well, let's finish this battle. We're doing pretty well. So it's a good thing that the battle is going to be finished quite fast, as opposed to lasting long, since we can't even test the abilities properly.
A new capture point has become available.
But what do I think of Zhuge Liang? As a ranged unit commander, it just increases his damage output. It doesn't really give him reload speed. Maybe it will later on, once you start upgrading the ability. But overall, I like this ability. It's a toggle. 20 seconds cooldown, it's kind of harsh. It can be caught off guard if you're not defended properly. Also, any like kiting or any maneuvers really in between your volleys are off the table. Well, we'll need to see what talents will be available to decrease the cooldown, to decrease the speed penalty, and maybe it will give us, well, definitely will give us more range and damage. But yeah, it makes you like a stationary, like a turret, pretty much a turret. Yeah, makes a stationary turret of shooting far and hard, I guess. But then again, if archers with superior range approach you and just shoot you from outside your range and you cannot move, you cannot dodge, yeah, that would be good. So that ability would only be good if there are no other ranged units, enemy ranged units in sight. And well, as long as you're protected from cavalry and other melee units, you will be fine. So you're kind of situational, but pretty good. And if you use it smartly and just don't go dual enemy archers, which I guess you shouldn't anyway as crossbows. Well, I don't really know. We'll see. We'll see in the future how they fare up against enemy archers. But for now, that has been it for Zhuge Liang preview. So thank you very much for watching. Remember to subscribe to help me bring back Total War Arena back to the West, and to stay notified of any upcoming Chinese faction previews and any other Total War Arena news that may come our way. And until then, I'll see you on Arena's battlefields, Commanders.